Hello, Cathy here for a very special episode of The Cinemile. Normally, my husband and I walk to and from the cinema together. Today, I have ditched my husband in favour of the Scummy Mummies, Ellie and Helen, who are here today.
Hello!
Hello, I am Helen.
I am Ellie. I am your new husband.
We've had him killed, and now we're having a threesome at the cinema during the day, which is really nice.
Really nice, yeah.
And this is our Christmas episode. So last year, Dave and I went to see It's a Wonderful Life in a beautiful cinema in Hackney. Today I'm with the Scummy Mummies in a multiplex in Wandsworth. So.
Welcome to parenthood. Yes, this is what your life is now.
This is the slippery slope. Next year it'll be at a soft play centre and we'll be watching something on your phone.
Oh God, it will
Police
be.
Academy assignment Miami Beach.
Yes!
That's what it'll be.
This is what I had actually asked for. I said I would like something with the emotional depth of Police Academy, but what film are we seeing, Cathy?
We're seeing A Bad Mom's Christmas, which I think might be up there with the Police Academy in terms of emotional depth.
I'm hoping so.
I mean, Mission to Moscow definitely had its moments.
It's very tender moments between Hightower.
The hyperbole was, the pathos, astonishing. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful scenes.
This, so I should explain who you guys are. So the Scummy Mummies are comedians. They run a very successful podcast called the Scummy Mummies, which is the #1 parenting podcast. And I met these two at the British Podcast Awards earlier this year, where they were up for Best Comedy Podcast. So I'm really excited to have them on. Dave's particularly gutted to be missing this. Obviously I didn't invite him because this is a mom's podcast, but he loves Ellie's TV show, Go 8-Bit.
Oh.
Because Dave's a big video game geek who hasn't played video games in 3 months since their son was born. So he's doubly distressed to be missing this podcast.
Oh, sorry, mate.
Yeah,
but,
sorry, Dave.
tough.
Yeah, tough shit.
She gave birth.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll never be able to repay that debt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they should do one together when yet another film of the spin-off of a computer game gets released.
Yeah. We're going to see a games film.
Yeah, you could see Mario and Luigi 2.
Luigi 2.
He's excited for that one, Ready Player One, which isn't it's about a book. It's based on a book, which is about a virtual reality video game. So,
I mean, sounds tedious,
yeah,
but whatever.
It looks terrible.
Yeah.
And you two have seen the first Bad Moms. I haven't.
Yeah, we saw it last year, and then we went on to Woman's Hour on the BBC and slagged it off. So, who knows? We might like this one. Probably not.
I mean, surely the Christmas theme can only improve and add to the sophistication of the humour and just
like
surely.
A glittery turd.
Yeah.
And it does have the feel of a movie that was unexpectedly successful. I can't remember what studio released it last year, but it was their highest ever grossing movie, so they've quickly turned another one out for Christmas.
Yeah, they've backed another one out. It's interesting because the last one was, and I think this one is too, was written and directed by a man about a woman's experience. I mean, not that men can't. Well, they can't.
They can't.
Let's not fuck about.
Yeah. But it's interesting because I don't think the first one's a very good film, and it's interesting it's done so well. It's almost as if there is a sort of dearth of films that mums, might want to go and see. It's almost as if the studios are mainly churning out stuff that appeals to a certain demographic that has a penis.
Yeah. I like films that don't involve penises, so who knows? This might be great. I'm looking forward to it.
And it's funny. It's like I saw earlier this year. Girls Trip. Did you see that?
No.
Is it good?
It's fun. It's fine. I enjoyed the cinema experience, but mainly because it was a movie aimed at women, and it was a bit funny and a bit naughty and a bit silly, more than it being an actual good movie. And it's a shame with movies like this that they can't be better. As well as being aimed at women. Like Wonder Woman, that was really good.
Oh, I
and
adored
directed
that.
by a woman.
Yeah, that was. And Gal Gadot is just phenomenal.
I know. She's so beautiful and also a very talented actress.
Yeah.
So we're excited for this movie.
Yeah.
I'm excited to have you guys on.
I'll be honest, I'm just excited about sitting in the dark for 90 minutes with no children.
I'm just going to prod her. She's going to probably fall asleep.
My coffee is decaf, so that if it is really bad, I can just have a little snooze. Is that
God,
allowed?
yeah.
Or is that missing the point of the podcast?
No, that's allowed.
All right.
My mother has fallen asleep twice on this podcast in various movies, and I fell asleep once when I was really hungover at, I think, The Secret Life of Pets, so it's acceptable.
Excellent.
I fell asleep in that one too.
Yeah, it's not good. The trailer's good. The movie's not
No,
good.
no, it should have been about 15 minutes long. There's some great gags in it, but my children had to wake me up because I was snoring loudly in the cinema.
Oh God! Well, you can snore away.
Oh no, you don't want that.
Okay, and also I'm so excited to have you guys on that I actually had a dream about this last night, which is really weird.
Wow, was it erotic?
No, it wasn't.
What was I wearing?
It was one of those things where, because I'm feeding a baby during the night, I'm kind of delirious, and it was a really boring dream that I got to the cinema and met you guys and had forgotten the recorder.
Oh no!
It was like the lamest nightmare ever. So that's quite tragic. But that's how excited I am. And Helen was on Good Morning Britain this morning.
Yes, I was. Speaking a very unfunny subject of Facebook. And I'm so glad that they got a comedian to talk about something. So, yeah, I got to be on with Piers and Susanna.
And what was Piers like?
He's just a pantomime villain.
Yeah,
Ellie's
dreadful. He's absolutely dreadful.
Ellie's done it before. I was a bit cross because on after me was James Blunt and Sir Alan Sugar, but I had to go home. So I was going to do that thing where
the cream of Britain, the brightest stars in the British galaxy.
Blunt and Sugar together at last.
I love that. So you did that. You went home, then you came here, and now you're doing a live show tonight.
Yeah, and I went to see my son in a nativity play, and he played Joseph, and I cried.
Oh, that's quite sweet.
I know, it was really lovely.
He did a good role. He must be a good actor.
Or,
top billing after Jesus.
No, it was his turn.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, thanks, guys. We are off to see A Bad Mom's Christmas now.
It's the most wonderful time.
Christmas is a magical time, full of wonder, excitement, and joy. A time for making lasting memories with family and friends. But do you know the secret behind what makes Christmas so special? Moms. Moms are working their asses off. Cooking, wrapping, decorating, and shopping.
Fuck. Holy shit.
I do the shit how I like. We're back. We're out of Bad Mom's Christmas.
Oh my God. Thank God we're out of Bad Mom's Christmas.
Am I alive? Am I dead?
Let's
I don't know myself
never
anymore.
Go back there. Never look back.
Jesus.
It's very long.
It's too long. It's longer than actual Christmas.
It is so long. Can you sum up the movie for us, Ellie?
Shit.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I mean, it's unbelievably, even to me, it's worse than the original Bad Mums, I think. All the characters, I would say, are hateful. Apart from, weirdly, all the men. Most of the characters are women, but all of them are sort of despicable at some point.
Yeah.
And there are like 3 or 4 men in it who are just all lovely and sweet and do all the right things all the time.
Yeah, perfect men.
Yeah.
The men sort of waft in like guardian angels and kind of tap the women on the bad women on the shoulder and say, "Don't worry, honey, it's going to be all right."
Yeah.
And I think it was from the first couple of scenes where the boyfriend of Mila Kunis, Jesse, comes in and is like, "Hey baby, I'll sort this out." And this was like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, she basically says, and we're not spoiling it because this is in the first 5 minutes of the film, and B, don't go and see it.
Actually, do you know what? I'll just say now we're on spoiler street already.
Oh right,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. The whole film is spoiled. So yeah. So yeah, like in the first 5 minutes, basically, she's like, "No, I can't fix the fairy lights." He's like, "You just have to swap out the fuse." And she's like, "Wow, you're amazing. I'm going to give you a blowjob."
Yeah.
And you're just like, "Really? Lovely bit of ambience for you there, Cathy.
Lovely sound in the background there. Also, normally on this podcast, Dave and I walk after the movie and review it, but it's too cold, so we ain't walking anywhere.
Yeah.
We're sitting in the foyer of City Road. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Yeah. And Helen, overall thoughts?
I just thought it was really patronising. It was written by a man, 2 men, it was directed by 2 men. And the dialogue was really simplistic, the jokes were bad, and the portrayal of women was insulting.
Yeah.
In a nutshell. So that's the podcast done. Thanks very much.
Thanks for having us.
And it was funny.
And you've wasted our day, Cathy, so
I
thanks.
I really am, and you're so busy. And it was funny because part of it was like just so nice to be in the cinema, eating popcorn and nachos and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
But really, what was fascinating to sit in a comedy and have no one in the cinema laughing.
Yeah. I would say I did laugh. To be fair, I did laugh. I think 4 times. But with that sort of calibre of actor and with that length of time and the fact that it's supposed to be a comedy, I don't think that's a very good hit rate.
It's not a good hit
No,
rate.
I was too angry. I think there was one running gag which I really liked, and I'll use that loosely, is when the granny kept giving the grandchildren excessive gifts.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, so that was a nice running gag, but again, that shouldn't be the funniest thing in the film.
Yeah.
And that Christine Baranski, she's
Yeah.
amazing in this.
Yeah.
But overall, because I hadn't seen the first movie, it turns out it didn't matter. But I was
Still
wondering,
bad.
what... I know I didn't see the first one, and this is a sequel, but what is supposed to be bad about these moms? Because they, from what I could tell, they were annoying and obnoxious, but in terms of being bad moms, the worst thing they did was drink 2 beers each in a shopping centre.
They did quite a lot of stealing, which I found a bit strange.
Oh yeah, the stealing was
There was
strange.
quite a lot of odd stealing.
Yes.
Which
It wasn't funny. It was just weird.
Yeah.
And in terms of budget, I know we said it made the studio a lot of money, and now I can see why, because they spend no money on this movie. There was about 6 sets. Funny, Helen, you mentioned soft play before this, because about 30 minutes of this movie is spent in a soft play.
Yeah.
It's a series of montages.
Yeah, the slow down montages really irked me. You can have a couple in the film, but there was 6 slow down montages, like with balls and malls and balls,
Malls
basically,
and balls.
and beer. And I just found it really laboured, really lazy.
Really cheap.
It looked like it was sort of written in about 2 days, going, yeah, this is funny, we'll do some dick jokes.
You knew where it was all going. You knew exactly what was going to happen. With Susan Sarandon, you know, she's Susan Sarandon. She turns it in, but you knew exactly where that character was going to go.
Yeah.
And it was so predictable. I almost thought there had to be a twist, because I was like, they can't be doing that. They can't be doing that. And
Something interesting has to happen. And the underlying thing throughout, for me, was also just the sheer privilege of these women. Like, they live in these houses. The house Mila Kunis lives in, if that's how you say her name, is a mansion.
Yeah.
Like, absolute mansion. And no mention, unless it was mentioned in the first movie, but this should stand alone, no mention of a career. Like, how does she have all that money? Even the so-called poor, in inverted commas, one, still lived in a house 5 times the size of mine and had a spare 10 grand to lend her mum.
And then her mum throws this massive Christmas party, which is ludicrous, hilarious. Like, Kenny G does a cameo, that's amazing. They have this big party, and then she just has a hateful tantrum about it, and kicks her mum out of the house, and that's like the sort of dramatic climax of the film. And I was like, you ungrateful cow! Like, you're right, your mum's a bit nutty, and you know. Yeah, but bloody hell, it's Kenny G's in your front room, bitch!
That's amazing.
Cheer up!
And I missed that bit, because I went out not only to the bathroom, but for a walk, because I needed to wake my up. And I mean, I think the 3 grannies were excellent. The scenes with so Susan Sarandon, Christine Baranski, and now I can't remember the name of the third actress.
It's gone. It's something out of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Finding high-quality mental health care can be daunting and exhausting. That's why Cerebral offers convenient access to online mental health services, including therapy and medication management. Cerebral's diverse clinician team can help with anxiety, depression, insomnia, stress, grief, big life changes, and more. You can schedule and communicate with your care team through Cerebral's mobile app and attend your sessions from the comfort of your own home. Get started with or without insurance. Plus, you can now use FSA or HSA. Start your first month for 50% off at Cerebral.com/ACAST.
She's Larry David's wife in Curb Your Enthusiasm. So she's like arguably by far the least famous of the 3, but she was really good.
She was excellent. She played this slightly psycho mother who wanted to be her daughter's best friend.
So she was Kristen Bell's mother, Christine Baranski was Mila Kunis' mother, and Susan Sarandon was the other actress's mother, whose name I don't remember either.
Doesn't matter. They're not going to see the film. It's dreadful.
And apparently she wrote to Susan Sarandon and asked her to play her mother. And it's just kind of sad, because you know there's not very many, you know, good movies for women in Hollywood. But I was watching it going, why are these women in this movie?
Yeah. It felt very misogynistic, and there's another spoiler scene. Again, you're not going to see it.
Fine, run spoiler street.
When the 3 main characters go drunk to see Santa, and they do like sexy dancing with Santa, it made me really unwell, and it was weird. And that's when we all turned to each other and went, revolting.
And then weirdly later on there's a weird bit of fat shaming, which I really didn't enjoy.
It was horrible.
It was a man that they were fat shaming, but I was like, why is this okay? If this was a woman, this would be rightly outrageous.
The joke was he had a beer belly. That was the joke.
And
it was disgusting. All the women found it disgusting, and I was like,
they actually screamed in horror at his stomach.
it was a very sad film in a way, because I think they just sort of very cheap laughs, really. You know, if it had been made 30 years ago, you'd go, yeah, that makes sense, but today it feels like a fucking joke.
And it's a waste of talent, because a good Christmas comedy, you know, there's so many examples of them. Right, so I'm trying to think now because I'm too tired.
Name one.
Scrooged.
National
Lampoon's
Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Elf is brilliant.
Elf.
Makes me slap
Home
my
Alone.
thighs.
Like, Home Alone is laugh out loud even now.
Kathy, we can no longer be
I
friends.
think Home Alone's dark.
Really?
They leave the
it's
little
dark.
boy alone.
It's dark.
He's home. Oh my god.
You can make, if you're going to make a movie set at Christmas, right, instead of just making something that you're cashing in on the holiday, just make a little bit of an effort with it, because really, if it's in any way decent, it will get rolled out every year and people will watch it. But you wouldn't watch this again.
At least with the first film, which I also thought was dreadful, but you could see it was trying to make some sort of point about motherhood and perfection and all of that stuff. And this just kind of, they sort of shoehorned in a bit of sort of twatty moving dialogue at the end, but really it wasn't really about anything.
No, there was like a scattering of dick jokes. It features a massive prosthetic cock,
which did get one of the best laughs from me. I did think it was funny. And that actor, have you seen the TV show This Is Us?
No.
He's in that. He's actually quite good.
I liked him in this. I thought given what he had to do, I thought he was great. And I big shout out actually to Peter Gallagher, who's one of my favourite actors.
Oh, I love him, yeah.
I loved him. Sex, Lies and Videotapes, one of my favourite films.
Yeah.
And it was quite weird seeing him like playing the cuddly dad in his like fleece, because I could just remember him being super hot in Sex, Lies and Videotape, and it was quite strange.
And I kept thinking of the OC. Remember he played Sandy Cohen?
Yeah.
But I actually, the biggest laugh I got of the whole movie was there's a scene where he's ironing and his wife, played by Christine Brinsky, is hammering on about perfect Christmases, and then at the end she says, "Are you done ironing my pajamas?"
Yeah.
And she puts the pajama. I mean, every scene with those two was elevated, but it was weird how sympathetic the men were against the women.
Yeah.
Well, it portrayed like it made the men the heroes,
Yeah.
which I thought, no, we've had enough of that bullshit. Thank you very much.
And do you find, as moms of older kids, because obviously I've only got a baby and I don't have to do anything for Christmas, do you think the pressure they were referencing in this movie actually does exist for moms at Christmas?
Only as much as you put on yourself. I don't feel that pressure, Ellie.
No, I think you do sort of want your kids to have a happy Christmas. My kids are 3 and 6, so we're right in it, and you want them to be happy. But again, it's about your definition of happiness. For me, it's not necessarily traipsing around Hamleys for 14 hours to find the perfect pair of elf slippers.
Yeah.
My life's too short, and I know that sometimes my kids, actually they don't want to go out. They want to sit in and watch DVD and eat marshmallows. And
Your kids love that.
yeah, that's great.
Absolutely.
I don't think you do have to take them to the 5-hour Russian Nutcracker.
There was a good line though where they say moms don't enjoy, they bring joy, which was quite funny.
Yeah.
But again, came from Christine Brinsky, so every good line pretty much came from her. Susan
Yeah.
Sarandon was wasted in this movie. She had nothing to do.
Yeah, she looked
She
like
had a good hat, liked a hat.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was good. She was a bit Banger Sisters, wasn't she? It was a bit of that character.
Yeah.
The other mom, whose name we don't know from Curb Your Enthusiasm, was really good actually, as Kristen Bell's mom.
Yeah.
But overall, I kind of wonder if they're plugging for a third movie with those three.
It felt like it.
Yeah.
It's going to be bad grandmoms in Vegas, isn't it?
That's exactly, which is actually a movie already with Robert De Niro and and Morgan Freeman. There's some movie where they all go to Vegas together.
Oh, yeah, like the old dudes.
So that
That's
already
a couple
exists.
Yeah.
And on our way in, we saw a poster for Daddy's Home 2, which is also this movie where they've just redone it with the grandparents, but weirdly have brought Mel Gibson on board.
Yeah.
Who's apparently allowed back in movies again.
Oh.
So after
Someone's forgiven him.
Yeah, his exile.
I haven't.
So he's misogynist, racist, despicable, but now in this day and age,
Anti-Semitic, don't forget.
anti-Semitic.
Come on, Cathy.
And Australian, which is dreadful.
That's the worst.
Dreadful. I mean, we hate Aussies. That's all really weird that he's been brought back. And why is John Lithgow in that movie? Nobody knows.
Oh, I love John Lithgow.
Know, it's really sad.
Yeah.
So, I just wish that these movies were a little bit shorter and a little bit funnier and had a nice message. This one didn't even have a real Christmassy message because it still became all about the material. Like Mila Kunis's arc of redemption was the fact that I will really elaborately decorate my house then.
Yeah.
Which was what she was fighting against.
Which was worse. The arc in the first movie was Mila Kunis's husband. I can't remember. He leaves her, or he's having an affair or something. The husband goes, and then she's redeemed by finding a nice new boyfriend. Right. So I mean,
Oh yeah, that was disgusting. Yeah, again, a knight in shining armour comes and said, "Don't worry,
I can
my
change your views.
My penis will make you better."
What about the fact that, so I didn't see the first movie, don't know what a douche the husband was, but the kids didn't get to see him at all at Christmas? Thought that seemed a bit mean. As the kid of divorced parents, I always got to see my dad.
But weirdly, there's no mention, because the other Catherine Hahn's character, she's a single mum, and there's just no mention of where these men have fucked off to, whether we're in touch with them, whether they're anything to do with anything. It's just like they no longer exist. Whereas for kids, that's not the reality.
No. Kids would ask. And it seemed, was there a bit of a gag about her son having special needs? What was that?
It was a bit.
Quite get the joke.
It was really poor taste, and I thought he had a really bad Australian accent. Like his accent was all over. His accent was all over the shop.
Well, that's what they want to do in films. They want to make someone sound like a moron. They give them Australian accent.
Yeah,
or
again,
Irish.
thank
or
you.
Irish.
All right, yes. I mean, yes, we're sisters in Simpletons.
Yeah, so weird. Like, it's funny for a movie written and directed by two men, which I always find strange when you need two writer-directors. Was one not enough for a movie?
One does the writing, one does the directing.
And they probably shot this maybe over 10 days. They had a couple of sets.
Susan Sarandon only had one outfit. She didn't change her outfit the whole.
I reckon she shot maximum 3 hours in the movie.
I'm done. That's one take. Yeah.
And she got the width Susan Sarandon, of course, at the end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
To be fair, I could watch Catherine Hahn flicking her hair and doing a funny face for hours, and it did constitute about 70 minutes of the film.
Yeah, she's great.
Fair. She was great. But yeah, I just could have done without all the, dialogue, really.
Yeah, the dialogue was so bad.
That was the hardest thing to take. It's like, this is so badly written, and I just don't want those words coming out of that lovely actor's face. Like,
why are they in this? And even I enjoyed seeing Kristen Bell as an uptight character like that, because I've seen her in like Veronica Mars, and she's in that new Netflix sitcom. It's called again The Good Place.
Okay.
So she plays like a real feisty character. So it was nice to see her playing someone a bit different. And Mila Kunis, I always feel like, yeah, we'd hang out. I like her. I think she's pretty cool. I mean, obviously, I think we'd hang out.
Yeah. She would love to come to Cineworld in Wandsworth.
She would.
And drink a Starbucks.
Yeah. I feel like she'd go on the Scummy Mummies podcast if you could just get through to her agent somehow.
I feel so.
She keeps texting us, to be honest. We're like,
enough, Mila.
Yeah.
Enough.
Busy.
Just embarrassing. You and Ashton, stop it.
We've got Jeremy Vine on, sorry, we're too busy.
That's right. Ellie's going to go to Bluewater on Thursday. We've got stuff on.
It's embarrassing. But yeah, so overall, it's a shame to get such a lovely group of people together, and you can see they were enjoying themselves. Like at the end, there's a bit of a montage of them all, another montage. Like the montage of them all playing dodgeball, they were having a laugh. I probably
enjoyed the end montage where they're all doing silly dancing Christmas jumpers more than the rest of the film, but it's hard to separate how much of that is because I knew it was the end of the film, and I was just happy to be leaving the fucking cinema.
I mean, there was a massive sigh of relief. It was at least 2 hours long, was it?
It felt like, forever's going to start tonight.
I don't know. I feel like I'm about to hit the menopause.
I've grown a new moustache in that time, so...
and it's one of those things where, again, everyone knows a comedy should be about 90 minutes.
Yeah, tops.
Like, best comedies are short. This is neither best comedy nor short. But I'm holding you guys up from your fabulous live show.
Oh, that's all right.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
I had a really good time.
Yeah,
I didn't. I hated it. It was awful.
And so we actually, funnily enough, have had a lot of dads get in contact with us who listen to our podcast and have written to us, and it's been really interesting. We haven't had that many mums, so I think we have more dads than mums listening to this podcast. So hopefully, dads, you can go off and listen to the Scummy Mummies podcast.
Yes,
please do.
Yes, and where else can they find you guys?
Well, we're on Instagram most days.
You guys, I love your Instagram. You do a lot.
And Facebook. But listen to our podcast on iTunes. We're currently, as we speak, the #1 parenting podcast in the UK. And we do live shows all around the country.
And we have a book, Scummy Mummies, still in print.
That's right. Currently £5.51 on Amazon.
Amazing.
So perfect Christmas present.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And obviously we've recorded this on Christmas Day because it's our Christmas episode.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Thank you for the turkey. I mean, you really didn't need to go.
I'm sorry for your children.
Oh, look,
But look, business comes first.
Christmas is about business. That's right.
Yes. So thank you guys, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Thank you for having us. Bye.